Hey, yo, man, it's Ma on the mix. The most lit in the 206. Now watch this, watch this, watch this. Man, listen, man. We about to talk about Seattle gigs, man. I don't think I've seen any videos on this on YouTube yet, or just any like real extensive ones. But I'm starting a new series called Malo After Dark. When it gets dark, I feel like I get a little bit more in depth into stuff. My daytime content's still gonna be good content, but it's gonna be kind of those like quick advice, life. But I wanted to make Malo After Dark more just about like Seattle and like, stuff like that, because I feel like we can always improve. We can always get better at showing the lit parts of the city, because I think one thing people gotta understand about Seattle is, and this is for also people that just aren't from Seattle, this is not just about people in Seattle, how it's about also people coming to Seattle, what you gotta expect. It's like one important thing is that we are a melting pot. So out here, you're gonna get different races. You're gonna get the Native Americans, you're gonna get the Asians, you're gonna get black, white, Hispanic, obviously the European. They be everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But one thing that you gotta understand about that is when people come from other places too and they grow up a certain way, you gotta understand Seattle's not the only city people will go to. They'll go to places like Bellevue, which is another city. They'll go Linwood, they'll go Tacoma, which all have like their own little cultures, which I kind of want to go through my lens, especially because like I want to show people the lit shit, like the lit stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important that we have videos like this. That way, when people come from other states, they kind of know what to expect. So when it comes to like the Seattle scene, the Seattle party scene, there is a big influence from the Bay Area. So I gotta just say that straight off the bat, because as far as turning up and dancing and shit, like, that's what both the Bay Area and Seattle does. Like, we don't just go somewhere and just be wallflowers and just look around and just put on drip. And I feel like that's kind of what it was. It was more built on the turned up guy dancing on a girl, making her look crazy, but girls also could dance back then too. So you understand it was like a totally different game. So I'm gonna tell you, if you was maybe about 10 years ago or more, like what you expect. And obviously I'm just condensing. This is the first video, so I'm not gonna go super in depth into it, but best believe there's gonna be a part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Just keep up with me. So back then, I want to say like mid 2000s, going out in Seattle was lit. We're talking about people from all walks of life. We're going to the clubs. Back then it was, you had Club Diamond, you had Club X, you had some people were just throwing events around too. There was Habana, like both of those. And those were like mostly in the Seattle area. But one thing people don't understand is that Club X really kind of made Seattle partying, clubbing, like premiere at the time. Cause like I said, at the time there was other clubbing stuff, but the numbers that Club X was pulling out was ridiculous. And then the promoting behind it and the artists they was bringing out. A lot of people don't understand YG's first like big show, one of his first big shows was at Club X. Shout out to A-Rash. That was the dude that owned Club X. And if anyone's watching this and came from that era, let me know in the comments. But that era was crazy. So first of all, excuse me, when Club X opened mid 2000s, there was a line outside, right? Line outside, probably, sheesh. Within the first week, it was like 200 plus outside just waiting. And what people don't understand is back then, Club X, it was promoted. I mean, say what you want, but people understand. It was promoted with mostly like the Asians and whites. It was promoted as kind of like I don't want to say like a rave-ish type, but it kind of, the colors that were on the flyers and stuff was kind of very rave-ish when they were throwing the events. But when I actually started to see the artist, the DJ play his music, he'd mix a little bit of both. He would have some hip hop in there, some blah blah blah. Then sometimes he'd have a little bit of the pop stuff. But then he was so good at upping the energy and playing like Shawty on my level, playing that Lil Boozy, playing that like a lot of the jerk artists that like y'all remember. I too like Vixen, ENT, Soldier Boy, She Got It Don't, like all that stuff back then. You know, K Stylist was huge. Like people don't understand K Stylist was a staple in Seattle dancing. Like when it not from Seattle, but like the stuff that we turned up to. Because K Stylist is he's not from Seattle, but that we start getting exposed to that music from DJ Giggz, and we gotta be honest, man. DJ Giggz was really rocking. He's probably to me still one of the top DJs because he knows how to get the party started, you know. And he was a Hispanic DJ, but he was playing that. He was playing like you know the you know what I'm saying. He was playing the good stuff that we just started to vibe to, you know. Obviously back then, back the thing up, whatever the case may be. That was a thing, right? Because there was a time for that. But you understand, like Pretty Girl Twerk by K Stylist, Booty Me Down, and so I'm going over kind of the music part of it, but the dancing part of it was so much of the fun stuff, and I'm gonna go over that in the whole video. But what I want to say is, back then it wasn't about a guy dancing with the homies, just having fun, turning up. You know, it wasn't just about them in a circle, like mosh pit or like circle everyone. It had some of that incorporated into certain parts of what I'm saying, because back then we were doing all the like Soldier Boy dances and stuff like that. So if you look up all SODMG, like Crank That, this, Crank That, that. Remember they're like, and they had Crank That Batman, they Crank That Superman, they had Crank That, they had a whole bunch of different like crank dances, stuff like that. But the main parts was the girls when that baby girl twerk, by K Stylist, when I was just telling you about, we was on them. We was, we was on them. So that was, shaking that, and thang, really, like, and the homegirls was hyping them up. But, the crazy thing was people just understand, like, that look that we had on each other's faces, like, me and the homies were just like, who's gonna go on first? Who's gonna go on first? You know what I'm saying? And I kid you not, when I was first kind of starting out doing it, I'm not gonna lie, that first one, she broke me like so bad. Like she did something where she tugged on my shirt and she was like working on me. So my body was kind of already like, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, but like she was actually kind of controlling the situation. Like she was trying to control my body, my balance, So that's when I realized, like, okay, I'm never gonna be embarrassed like this again, because she had broke me and then just walked away like, nah, you ain't, But yeah, I was like, after that time I got broke, I didn't get broke again until later on that year. I think the girl did like the splits on me though, like, and I was just like, oh. So now what do I do when I'm dancing, breaking her, bop, 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 and then she just goes straight down to the ground? I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did later on though. Like I said, I want to keep a lot of the juicy, not necessarily juicy, but I want to keep all like the details of that stuff later on, because I want to put it into like a method, because I really want to teach y'all what we were doing back then, And again, one thing that people gotta understand too when they're watching this video is that Seattle had different styles, and the originals, the people that were out there, like, like a lot of us early era people had our own type of energy, own type of style. And we're gonna go into the different groups. Like and so for like the outside looking in, like a lot of people from other states might have heard a twerk song, but they were not dancing on top of the girls like that, 100%. And mind you, parties were cool, but and no, I'm not. See, okay, what I'm gonna say, because I'm I gotta watch some words. Is it like if it happened, because it was so packed back then. All the parties from all different states and stuff was just packed. You know, it was just a different type of feel. People want to go out and party and have fun and stuff like that. We were just adding some sort of to the moves while the girl was honest. You know what I'm saying? Like the girl was dancing on us. We was, you know what I'm saying? Like we was just, gigging on them type stuff. And gigging on them is just really kind of, it's just like that feeling like you telling a story, you however you want it to be. But when the songs are coming on, you kind of want to go like the beat of the song basically, because the girl's also going to be dancing, doing some stuff. And y'all can say, oh, that's just doing too much. Why don't you just like grab ass and stuff like that? And every dance group that we had in Seattle, we had LOTP, Team TBAB, which is Team Break a Bitch, TBYB, which is Team Break Yo Bitch, right? And then TSID, I think it was like Shut It Down, Team Shut It Down, basically. And we had some other groups too that came through, but like LOTP was like the big. They were like them ones, And when I started my crew, GIIB, that LOTP was kind of already a thing, So when I came in with my energy and my team, it kind of even made the Seattle dance scene even more of a thing, because it was just like different groups were coming in and like, you know what I'm saying? It was making it fun. It was like everyone had their own team. But I think one thing we kind of miss now is we miss the group stuff. Like we had like, that's what made it fun really. If you want to be honest, like a reason why the Seattle party scene is not gonna be like how it used to be. And not to say that a lot of things are never gonna be how it used to be, but it's just like, because specifically Seattle is that what made it fun is you had dance teams, you came in your shirts, you came in your thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what the Clowns have been doing like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like the Clowns, shout out LA. Like it's like you had, you were going against other teams. You know what I'm saying? But you was also back then. You was also sometimes going against each other to make each other sharp. And when I'm talking about going against each other, I'm talking about like people in your own groups. Like me and the homie. Let's see who's breaking the bitch better, and let's see who's breaking who. You know what I'm saying? Better, but it was kind of more like we did it to kind of build like, okay, what can I work on next time? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Desto for the shirt. That's an awful lot of cough syrup, man. Make sure you go to the store. He got a whole bunch of stuff there. Whole bunch of cool stuff, lit stuff. If you're in the LA area especially, go tap in with. That's an awful lot of cough syrup. But, man, I love to talk to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Listen, man, I want y'all to subscribe to the page. I have so much more to talk about this when it comes to it. But yeah, basically some key takeaways I want y'all to get, because it's a lot of information, is that the clubs back then, especially in Seattle, it was so packed that like couldn't move nowhere. So you had to go grab something, grab some ass or something. And it was cool because it was so packed. So it wasn't enough time for y'all just to sit and look at each other and see what outfits y'all got on. Like everybody was dancing, gigging, and doing stuff like that, like crazy. So that's like a big takeaway from it, that like you had no room just to just look. You had to utilize your room, dance on the girl, pass it to the homie, like you kind of time it in your head and get the homie something, you know what I'm saying? So I started dancing on her too, gigging, showing it. So that was a big thing. We had some respectful artists come out, like the YGs, Lil Wayne's and stuff like that. That was kind of a big thing for us that kind of helped turn up. And one thing I kind of want to say before I get out of here, because I got a little minute left before I'm about to get to my next thing, is the artist came out and only performed for like maybe 15-20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was always at the right time during the night. Sometimes the big artists would come middle of the night, sometimes towards the end of the night. It depends, because it was so much going on. You wasn't leaning on the artist to make the party lit. It was too much going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh girl over there, blonde, she getting broke, blah, blah, blah. And then don't even get into the slow songs towards the end of the last 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But then, by that time, you better have figured out your ride. You better figure out if you want to stay there and try to get some, you know what I'm saying? Get some bunions, because shit was popping outside, niggas was, like for real. So you really got to understand that, like, it was a lot going on, man. I can't wait to get into like my next part, my part 2 of this. But there's a lot of stories that I kind of want to go through with the Seattle Giggz that nobody has put on YouTube yet. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that I'm the spokesperson to be able to at least go through what I experienced, right? And what my impact in this, because everyone has their own impact in Seattle Giggz at some point, but I think that our era was definitely like the golden era, and you can argue with your mama, man. But our era was really the golden era with the amount of stuff we had going on that we were able to catch on camera. And like I said, ours wasn't the very first era, right? Because the very first era was cameras weren't even you know what I'm saying? People had little stuff here and there, but like I think our era, the next era after that was really the era that transitioned the clubbing part into the Seattle gigging and stuff like that. So I think I want people to understand that, because now it's so foreign to people that are, right now that are clubbing. They think what's going on right now is how it used to be. No, it used to be like a dogfight out there. You got respect. Oh, he's breaking, blah, blah, blah. Like, and man, we've been so many stories. Parties at the skating rink. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, breaking, blah, blah, blah. But it was like at the skating rink, though. They cleared out the skating rink. There was nobody skating. You know what I'm saying? Everyone was just getting on some, just like it was at the club, but literally just infiltrating the skating rink with just booty all over. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all niggas, man. For real. If you tap in to this page, like, comment, subscribe, and everything. I'm telling you right now, I'm about to go up this year, man. I just developed a whole new game plan, and I'm just on it, man. I'm on it, bro. So appreciate y'all, man. But there will be a Seattle Giggz part 2, 3, 4. This is the one I wanted to get out for the night. I love y'all, bro. I'm about to come out. I'm dropping probably twice a day, man. Twice a day. You guys are gonna hear from me twice a day, man. And still doing the vlogging stuff, doing the crazy stuff. I'm about to be doing just a whole lot, man. So appreciate y'all, man. Jamal in the mix, the most lit in the 206. Now watch this, watch this, watch this. We gone.